My name is Coleman Richdale. I am an engineer at Apple Incorporated. Currently live in San Jose, California. So we took a road trip and we just got there and we were the only ones there, and there were just these beautiful waves and the water was warm and it was just like the most picturesque setting, and pretty much every wave that I took off on there was just amazing, and I don't know, you couldn't help but just be super stoked by the surroundings and the setup and the waves. It was super memorable.
Hi, my name is Chandu. I am from New York. I'm 35 and I'm a surgeon.
Andy, 54 years old. I'm a lawyer in Washington, D.C.
I'm Niall, 34, live in Los Angeles, and I run a design company.
And I'm Lisa. I'm ageless, and I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm an anthropologist.
I used to work at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California, which is one of the NASA centers that primarily does the outer planetary robotic missions. So I worked on the Mars Curiosity rover for about 5 years. So I always grew up skateboarding a lot. That was kind of like my first love, and then I got really into snowboarding when I was in high school, and then I guess I always kind of wanted to try surfing, and I kind of tried to learn how to surf on the East Coast, but it kind of went about it all wrong. I got a shortboard, which is the wrong way to start, and didn't really know what I was doing. So once I moved out to California after college, I decided to start over, hit the reset button, get a longboard, and just go as much as I could and try and learn the right way.
I surfed a couple of times over the past couple of years. Nothing consistent, usually just as kind of like a fun activity to do. Last summer, I was like, you know what? I really want to find an activity that is enjoyable, takes me outside, something that I really enjoy doing. And so I thought back to like the past couple of years, what has that been? And it's always surfing. So last summer, I was like, let me go ahead and start doing this a little bit more committedly.
My wife and I were out in Hawaii 2 years ago. She had a temporary gig out there and I was working remotely, and a friend asked whether I wanted to go surfing. I said, sure, I'll go. And got into it then, just got completely hooked, but unfortunately had to return to DC when the gig was over and didn't really have opportunity, but was just thirsting to do more. So we realized I needed to improve the skills if I was really going to do it seriously. And somehow or other read about this place. I think it was in the Times, I'm not sure. Did a little bit of research, sounded good. So I said, okay, let's do it. And then was counting the weeks till we came.
I met Lisa this time last year when we came to Surf Simply, and we became very good friends with her husband Andy and my wife Ali, and we've stayed in touch. And we made a point of coming back for a second year to have another go at Surf Simply.
We arranged to all come together at the same time, had a fantastic week, and we're going to do it again, right?
Yeah.
When I came this time, I was really a little nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I made a 2-week commitment to this. What if I can't handle it? And then it just starts, and you wake up every morning and you are so stoked to get out in the water, and then you just have these magical, perfect moments out in the water, and you're just like, wow, I can't wait to do that over and over again. Happiest moment this week had to have been the failed attempt to walk to the nose of the board. I almost made it, but didn't quite, but it was super awesome knowing that I even had the potential to even try to make it out there.
You know, on the one hand, there were some great waves where I felt I was surfing it perfectly, or not perfectly, but at least decently, and that feels wonderful, linking the turns and doing all those things. But then yesterday, went on a surf trip with Jesse, Fran, and some of the other guests, and was in conditions that were definitely out of my comfort zone, and it took me probably a solid hour just to get calm in the water, but then managed to surf some decent waves. That felt good too, sort of conquering that fear, intimidation.
I think with surfing, it's not necessarily just the happiest moment. There's a range of emotions that you feel. You feel frustrated, you feel challenged, and you feel elated. And there are definitely happy moments where you catch, a great wave, but you get to better them every other day. And I think there's more memorable moments than happy moments where, with tonight, there was torrential rain and we were out in a really choppy sea trying to catch waves. There's other moments where you might see someone else catching a great wave and you feel happy for them. And like I say, that spectrum of emotions is really quite broad. I think what's especially nice with seeing Ali, the way that she surfed this week, is that she's really kind of started to overcome some of her fears and surf out from the back. And I think she's learned so much and become a much better surfer in a very short period of time.
She did brilliantly.
She did great.
Yeah.
I think what's nice about the group this time is that there are a lot of people who have been to Surf Simply before, so it kind of feels like you're coming back home. Everyone's familiar with the routine, they understand how things work, and it feels like a family again.
It's such a tight group, you know, there are only 12, sometimes maybe 13 people.
And it really is like coming home for the holidays and you are seeing your family again. And what's cool is you're also seeing new members of the family come as well. People that you meet here, everyone's at a different level in terms of their surfing, but they're all super like-minded. By the end of that week, strangers become friends and you maintain those relationships down the line. Really can't ask for much more in a week. You surf, you make friends, you eat good food.
And you sit around at a common table, you share your experiences, you know, at meals 3 times a day, and you're out there in the water together, and it's wonderful.
It was great to see how, the coaching staff was really responsive to each person's needs. I was initially paired with someone who ultimately turned out was better than I was, and so they peeled that person off, and then I was working with Fran, and that was great, like all the other coaches I've worked with here, and Fran was my principal coach. Everyone else was pitching in, and so if I caught a wave and did something wrong, but one of the coaches was inside and saw it, they would be sure to let me know what it was that went wrong, or give me some tips. So that was very helpful. So it's really a team effort.
I had a lot of happy moments this week, mainly based around the fact that I had a fantastic coach, as I had last year. This year I had Will. He was exceptionally patient, and damn it, he got me up.
My wife Lisa was, really trying to work on her pop-ups, and Will was extraordinarily patient with her. She had injured herself before we came down, unfortunately, and so it was somewhat frustrating for her, but got great coaching. I think today she finally had that breakthrough where she was back to where she wanted to be.
He got me up on the board. I was coming in with some injuries this year, and he managed to, make miracles happen.
My coaches this week were Jesse and Prado, and they were both amazing. They both rip, and they have like the best fundamentals and mechanics that to me is like the most important thing. So like they set a really good example, and not only do they teach you the things that you need to know, but they also do them out in the water, and it's just like very obvious, that they take their own lessons to heart. And so it was great having them out in the water, giving you advice, wave after wave, and also the classroom lessons where you get to kind of break down each wave, and they really influence, the way you approach each wave. So that was super helpful.
I think the addition this year of having a stretch class has really actually been really beneficial to feeling able and capable to deal with the physical challenges of riding the waves, and that's been a great change.
That's right, and our stretch coach actually coached me last year as a surfer. She's a fantastic surfer, knows what surfers need in terms of problem areas that need to be addressed, flexibility, strength, and so that's a great new addition this year.